Good evening, stamping friends. I'm Dorene Decibus from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and welcome to Technique Tuesday. This is something new that I haven't done in the past, and so I'm excited about it and looking forward to doing this with you. Right now, I'm only going to do it once a month, just so that I can keep it reasonable for me for right now, but this will, if this goes well, I might start doing it twice a month and maybe even more as time goes on. So tonight, with this technique, I'm going to do a paper cutting technique with you, and I am going to use the Storybook Friends. This is a bundle that's in the new Mooney catalog, and what I wanted to show you, the part that I'm really using besides the designer series paper, I'm using these gorgeous frames that come in the dies, and I just love them, and some are simple, some are ornate, but it works really well with this stamp set. And I am also using, to make the cards, I'm going to use it as an example to do something else, but I'm using the designer series paper, which I've been using a lot of. You'll see when I show you the package, you can see all the pieces cut everywhere. But this is the Storybook Moments 12 by 12 designer series paper. It has some die cuts in here. I'm going to be using some of the die cuts tonight, and they are awesome. It has beautiful paper with beautiful designs, and like I said, we'll be using this to make the cards I'm going to make tonight. So tonight I am going to share with you the stack, cut, and shuffle technique. This was a technique that I saw Lynn Dunn do, and she is also a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I became like obsessed with it, so I wanted to share it with all of you. So let me just put that stamp set away. So what do you need to do this technique? And I've got some of the Daffodil Wishes designer series paper. Let me just grab that. I think I just looked. There's the other piece. What you're going to need, and I have it right here, you're going to need 3 pieces of coordinating designer series paper. So as I said, this is from the, give me a second. Let me just grab it so I can read it correctly. This is from the Floral Delight designer series paper. So I chose these 3 patterns, one with flowers on it, one with the gingham check, and then one with just a yellow design. So those are the 3 pieces that I have chosen, and they measure 3 inches by 4.5. And then the other thing you're going to need is a neutral piece of cardstock, one that matches the designer series paper, so white goes with this one really nicely. And the 3 pieces of white measure 3.5 by 4 3/4. I've got it right in front of me. I should be looking at that. And then we're going to be cutting the designer series paper and creating a pattern with it. And that gives us the stack, cut, and shuffle technique. Okay, so I will leave this here, but I will put it out again at the end. So this technique is a quick and easy way to make 3 cards at once. So I'm just going to stack these together so they're nice and even. I'm going to get out my paper cutter, and I am going to be cutting these. I am going to start by cutting it at 3/4 of an inch. I want these to all be the same measurement. So I'm cutting them together, hence the stack part in this technique. And then I'm going to measure this at 1 1/4, and that is going to leave me a piece that is 1 inch. So there are my 3 pieces. Now I'm going to do the third part of the technique. Remember, it's stack, cut, and shuffle. We're going to be doing the shuffling part now. So I'm going to take each of these pieces of paper, and I am going to make 3 piles. There's the 1 1/4 inch. Here's the 1 inch, and I'm putting these in different piles. And then this is the 3/4 inch. And when we're done, we'll have 3 piles of 3 different designs of designer series paper. So I'm going to get out my adhesive, and I'm going to take these 3 pieces that measure 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I can put these on any way I want. I'm going to show you one way here, and then I'm going to show you another one afterwards. So I'm going to start by layering my 3/4 inch over on the left side of the cardstock. I'm going to then take my 1 1/4 inch, so I'm going to put them in order by size. I'm going to put over on the right side of my cardstock. And I'm doing this so that when I go to put the piece in the middle, it is going to be centered between these two. So I'm going to add my adhesive here. And there is one of the backings done. So here's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to do this in the same way. I'm going to take my small piece, the 3/4 inch, start it on the left-hand side. Like I said, this is a really, really quick and easy way to make 3 cards. And I'm going to show you a way that I use it as well. So I'm putting the 1 1/4 all the way over to the right, and the 1 inch one is going to go right in the middle. There is the panel. I want to make sure these are going the right way. Yes. If you have any directional paper, you want to make sure it's going the right way. Okay, there is my second panel for a second card. And now I'm going to go to my third panel. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to start with the smaller 3/4 inch piece, put it on my left, put the 1 1/4 piece on my right, and then I can center the 1 inch piece right down the middle of these two. And that is all there is to this technique, but I'm going to make 3 cards for you, I said too. So here we have the 3 backgrounds that are now ready to be made. And what's really nice about this is I can hold this way, or I can hold it this way and change my orientation. I can hold it this way. I can hold it this way if I want. That makes my flowers upside down, but still, it is great. As I said, you can put these in any order that you want. Here, I did exactly what I did on the 3 I just made. This one, I put the 1 1/4 over here, the 1 3/4 in the middle, and the 1 inch on the right. And here I put the 1 1/4 in the middle, and the 3/4 and 1 inch on either side. So, like I said, you can do this any way. And I'll show you my other samples afterwards. But let's make a card or 2, or maybe 3 with this technique. So here's what I've done. I have cut, so we'll start with this. I have cut 3 pieces of 4 by 5 1/4 pieces of cardstock. These are going to go inside my 3 cards. So I'm just going to put, I took one of the designer series paper and I cut a 1/2 inch strip. I always make mine a little longer so they're on. Thanks, Lisa. I love it too. So I'm going to just trim that off because, like I said, I always cut it a little longer so I make sure I can get my adhesive where I want it to go. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm not going to make my cards the same exactly, but they are going to be similar so that you will notice. So again, just cutting those little ends off. Anytime you cut cardstock, it could be, just off by a smidgen of an inch. And when you cut these little pieces a little longer, you're not going to have it be off by that. So let me just put this one down and cut this little piece off. Okay, so those are going to go on the inside of the card. My card base is going to be Lost Lagoon. So I'm just going to take my piece and fold in half. Here's my second one. And I'm purposely not going to put a greeting on these 3 cards because I want to save them. I want to have a stash that I can basically use for any occasion. Okay, so there's my 3 cards. Now I'm going to just add the inside. So there's number 1. Here's number 2. And let's get 2 done. And let's do number 3. Now, I have a couple of choices. I can take, so what I did was I took the 12 by 12 paper that goes with the Storybook Friends, so Storybook Moments. I'm using Wild Wheat. This is Lost Lagoon, and then this is a variety of colors. I put my 3 strips across. I can put it just right like that on my card, and I actually think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use any layers that I have already pulled out, because I like that just as it is. So we'll remove those layers and get started on putting the cards together. So then I'm going to just, on all 3 of the fronts, I am going to just layer this card front on. I had thought about layering it on a piece of Lost Lagoon, then white, and then to make it a bigger front, but I think I like it just like that. I also, when I cut those, I cut my frames right out of the back. So here's the second one that's going right on the front, and then my third one. Okay, so what am I going to do next? When I cut out the frame, it also has a middle piece that comes out with it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put one of the little cutouts right on that frame. And I can pop this up if I want. I can give it a shadow box look by popping up the frame. And for this first one, that's what I'm going to do. So I am going to just take my adhesive and I am going to put this adorable little mouse that, again, is in the teacup there. And then I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals and I am going to cut some pieces off because I don't like to. And I am going to put one along the 4 sides. So this is going to be popped up like it's a shadow box frame. So on this first card, I am going to center this frame right on that, so it will give me the idea of where to put my little mouse. So I'm going to put this little mouse right here in the center. I'm not going to push it down yet. I'm going to make sure when I put this over, it's not pushed down yet, but it will. But that is centered the way I like it. But I want to move it over a little bit. the white edges can kind of trick you on how you want that to be. Okay, that looks much better. So I'm going to take these off, the backings, and we're going to line this right up over this frame. Again, I'm not going to push anything down until I have it the way I want it to be. Make sure that it's straight. There we go. How cute is that? And look at that beautiful frame. I'm probably going to want to put some bling on it. Let's see, what do I have handy? I have some of the iridescent foil gems. So this will look really cute on it, and it will just give some sparkle to the front. So I am going to put 2 down in this corner, and I'm going to put a larger one up in this corner. And there we have our first card. How cute. I know, Lisa, the storybook characters are just adorable. Okay, second card, I'm going to use this frame. I really like it. It's much simpler than the other two, and it's going to go on the front of this card. Again, I'm going to center it on. And for this one, I am going to use the goose that's all dressed up. So let me attach her to this piece of what the other part of the frame. And this one is going to be all flat. But what we're going to see is when we put the frame on, some of it's going to be covered up, just like a picture frame normally would. And so, actually, I think I want to cover more of the feet up. So I'm going to just make sure her face and hat are going to be noticeable. I'm going to trim the feet off, and I might have to trim her feathers on the side off. We'll see how that's going to look. So here we have, yes, I'll have to trim that part off. That's okay. It's going to be under the frame. There we go. And we're going to put this piece on first. I'm just going to add some liquid glue. So I'm just going to put some up here where it's a little thicker and get some of the curly cues and all that. And then I'm just going to put some dots going around. And I'm going to center this on the card. Let me just get some of this out of the way. There we are. That looks good. Let's hold it down for a second. And I'm going to now just put a little bit of glue on the back so I can move it if I need to. And there we have this one. We'll add a couple gems to it. So I think I will put a large one in the right corner this time and put 2 of the small ones over here. And there we have card number 2. Okay, for card number 3, I am using the really exquisite frame. looks like this. And I have a couple little characters that I want you to tell me which one you want to use. Here we have a raccoon on a bike. We have a little mouse holding a pail. Or we have a little bunny rabbit. So which one would you like to see? Come on, ladies. Tell me. The raccoon, the mouse, or the bunny? I'm going to give you a couple seconds to tell me in the chat which one you'd like for this last card. If I don't hear from you, then I am choosing the bunny. And that's what it looks like it will be. All right, so I am going to attach, oh, the mouse. Okay, Lisa, I will put the mouse. Rabbit, 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 mouse. Joyce, do you have a preference? Okay, so we've got the mouse and the rabbit. Let's see how they look. The rabbit fits on pretty nicely. We'll have a little bit behind the frame, and it looks like it's going to look like this when it's put together. So that's the rabbit. It really fills up the frame. And this is the little mouse. And I probably would have its tail come off because, well, what's a mouse without its tail? Okay, I'm going to go with the rabbit. So let's attach this one to the backing of the frame. Because the frame is going to show through if I didn't put the backing on, that is why I am doing it this way, so that, so there we go. All right, so this is going to go on the front. We have our little houses showing. I'm going to put this on top so it will cover up some of the bunny's ears, not really, but some of the paper on the ears. So that will be a little bit, actually, I think I might just, it's so little, I'm just going to trim it a little bit. That'll make it easier. Okay, so let's put this frame on, and then we'll add in the frame to the front. So like I said, this technique, the way I'm going to use it, and I'll show you, because I got a little carried away last week when I sat down to practice the technique and look at some different designs and put it all together. And so I ended up cutting a lot, and I am going to be putting these away. So when I need a fast card, I have some backgrounds already made. So here we go. We'll put this frame on, centering it. Just going to hold it down for a minute. And for this one, I am going to, I'm going to put it flat down again. So it's going to just go right in the frame like that. And let's just use some glue on this. I really like the shadow box technique that you can do with these frames, but the one thing I find is that is much easier on this frame because of you have enough room to put the dimensionals, and where these smaller ones you don't really have that room. All right, let's put some gems on this one as well. And and then I'll show you the other ones that I have made. So I think I am going to put one down here, one over here, and spread these out a little bit, and one up here. And there we go. So the 3 cards I quickly made with this technique. This was our first one right here, our second one, and our third one. So cute. All right, so I'll leave those right there for you to look at. So this is just one design I used. This is from our new scrapbooking designer series paper, and I will tell you right away, I don't know all the names of them, but this has a beautiful Lost Lagoon. It has some espresso and some crumb cake in it, and here are the 3 backgrounds I made with this one. So that will be going in my little file. I wanted something really bright and colorful, so this is from the beautiful bouquet paper. And so I did one side with that bouquet pattern and then turned them over to get the other colors. So this middle piece has both of the colors in. So I thought that was just bright and colorful. I really liked it. This one is from one of the new online exclusives, and I'll tell you, I really like this, and I think I'm going to have fun with this one. But I have these 3 papers that come from it. And I loved using a stripe with kind of a abstract pattern and then some flowers. So that goes really nice. This uses the garden toadstool paper and is just a nice combination. I love how all of the colors go together. You can see I went a little crazy. I've still got more. This is with the Timeless Plaid paper, and this one would be a really easy one to turn them to different sides. You could also put it on kind of crooked if you want it. This one uses the beautiful blooms paper that's in the mini catalog, and I just used 3 of the same pattern but different colors. And then my last one is the new bumblebee paper. I didn't use any of the bumblebees, but I pulled from the Petunia Pop paper and used the plaid, the solid with the white flowers, and then the group of flowers with the leaves. So again, this is called, let me just bring this down and bring my measurements down. This is called the Stack, Cut, and Shuffle technique. And it is a way that you can make a background for any card and either have it on hand like I'm going to have, or put together 3 cards when you need it nice and quickly. I think all 3 of these would make an adorable Easter card. And that might be how I use them. So thanks for joining me. Let me know what you think about the Technique Tuesday. This week I just did a paper cutting technique, but I plan to do many more. I will take requests. So if you have a request for a certain technique you want to learn at the end of the month, let me know and I will do that. And again, I'll be back this Friday night for Fun Fold Friday. I will be back Sunday night for a new month of Simply Stamping Sunday. And check out the virtual online class that I have put on my page. It will be a lot of fun. And if you're local, you can still do it. Suzette, I drive by your house every day. You wouldn't have to pay postage. Same with you, Joyce. I drive right by your house. Lisa, I do as well. So you could save on the shipping and it would only be $25. Okay, have a great week, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye.